All right, Foundation staff, this is Agent Theron Sherman beaming through. We are working out the digitization into the encrypted YouTube links right now. We are making sure that everything is go for tonight's broadcast. Bear with us while we digitize. We want to make sure our signal, we want to make sure our chat is on. We want to make sure everyone is receiving the proper signal. Hold, please hold. Ta-ta-ta. We are currently calibrating. We are making sure we have YouTube chat. We are making sure we have Get Vocal chat. We want to make sure everyone is with us this evening. All right, that's part one. We are getting closer every minute. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Broadcasting. Good, good. Action. I need the YouTube chat. YouTube chat is coming now. All right, we have the YouTube chat. Hello, Russ Derricott. I can see you now. That is fantastic news. We are coming through loud and clear. We are still finding our place in a couple places here. Let's make sure. Get Vocal chat is on. YouTube chat is on. Lady Fairy J is here. Glad to see you. Fantastic. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. This mic is hot, and so are we. Or at least those hellhounds are down in section BF. All right. And going live in 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. We're on. Hey there, Foundation staff. This is Level 2 Researcher Theron Sherman, but you can call me Sherm. Welcome to another Anomalous Broadcast from Site-42. For those of you unfamiliar with our show, the rundown goes like this. 1, I read you an SCP document. B, I open up the floor to the community to discuss what we've read. We're often visited by SCP authors, staff, fans, and if we're lucky, the author of the article themselves shows up in that night and we can share a little insight with them. Remember that if you would like to join the conversation yourself, you can join us on the Get Vocal app at getvocal.com or on your phone. During this show, you can get on camera with me. We have 3 windows besides mine, so you can get in and visually chat with us. Other than that, you are also here on the Get Vocal text chat and the YouTube chat. So I've got all these pulled up and live and active. Remember that if you enjoy this show, leave a like and a comment to let us know. Subscribe and hit the bell because YouTube doesn't tell you what's going on unless you hit the bell. So hit that bell, make sure you know what's going on. If you really want to help us up, become a patron at patreon.com/site42. A little bit of housekeeping. Good news in the SCP community this week. Dr. Gears, the pretty much George Washington of administrators of the SCP Wiki from its birth, the guy who wrote like the second SCP, went through his surgery successfully and is recovering. So the SCP community raised $25,000 for Dr. Gears' surgery. The community is amazing. I love us so much. And I'm very glad to hear that Gears is doing okay, recovering from that surgery. And yeah, cancer's a bitch. I'm very glad that he's doing okay. Bee housekeeping. Housekeeping for bees. No. Okay. So second, this week, me, Site-42, Sherm, I have an opportunity to get a studio space to film this show in. I'm in front of a green screen right now, which is pretty dope. Kaiman Chameleon made this, and this background is really cool. But I want to show you guys what I'm working in right now. This is my living room recording space on my ironing board with my fake teleprompter, my lights, my cables, my Lululemon bag holding up my microphone, which is a little too heavy. So the reason I am showing you this right now is because I have the opportunity to maybe get a 2-bedroom apartment, which means that I could be able to, I don't know, have an office, because this is in my living room. I have to set it up and tear it down every week. And so that takes about an hour extra to do the show. But that means I need another $500 a month. So that's a lot of patrons. If you are not a patron and you join the Patreon to get early access to our videos, I don't know if you've seen our live action SCPs that we've done recently in collaboration with Synthetic Alien. But long story short, we want to keep doing extra good SCP content and growing things. And if you guys want to become patrons and help us out, if you want to share videos, subscribe. Yeah, Lady Fairy J is like, my kids would wreck that in about 2 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to balance in this living room. It's a despair situation. If I can have a desk would be like the best thing in the world. So yes, that is my housekeeping for the evening. Please become a patron if you want to help us out. We're trying to grow the channel out of my living room. And yeah, Site-42's budget's hella low. Okay, so that being said, hey there, Brad Hamill. Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to like the video. That all being said, housekeeping is complete. We are now on to tonight's reading. Tonight's reading is a supplement to SCP-3426. SCP-3426 is titled Reckoner, and it is a excellent pattern screamer skip with a lot of... Oh, my green screen seems to be having problems for a moment. I'm going to make some adjustments. Let me see if I can fix my lighting. Come back, green screen. I believe in you. Okay, that's good enough. Everything's functioning. We got this. So, tonight's article is Supplement, Exploration Log 3426-UA-13C. This is a supplement to SCP-3426, and now we are going to go in and explore the anomaly. Now, in case you don't remember, I want to give you a backup on SCP-3426. SCP-3426 seems to be a situation where when a civilization reaches a certain point where they have a solid theory of everything, where they fully understand the universe, everything goes to hell. And we have the SCP Foundation on Earth has multiple iterations we found in the stars of planets that have been destroyed by this anomaly. And we're trying to figure out why. We have a letter from another planet's SCP Foundation, essentially. Their version of the SCP Foundation saying, we went too far, we knew too much, and I'm sorry, planet, we fucked you up. And it's like, oh no, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. Meanwhile, we have a terrible situation, a note from someone who is stuck in the situation as reality itself is tearing apart around them. And all they can hear, all the person they are with can hear in their head is constant wailing, or screaming. It's probably screaming. And then they start to hear the terrible wailing as well. And then there was a crazy government announcement of, go inside your house. Don't listen to the screaming. Pull out the gun we gave you in your government-sanctioned gun box and kill yourself. And it's like, oh no, it's a bad day. Everyone's having a bad day if you are on a post-3426 planet. So now, today is the supplement. We're going to explore a post-3426 planet. Oh my. Good luck, fam. All right. Starting the document. The following log depicts the received camera feed of the exploration of the void regions of post 3426-13, involving the usage of an unmanned drone. This file is limited to personnel level 4 clearance or higher. While neither info hazards nor cognitohazards have been detected to be present in this transcription, all personnel viewing this file must undergo a level 2 hazardous meme scan before proceeding. I'm going to trust you all right now. You went through your level 2 hazardous meme scan, correct? I went through my level 2 hazardous meme scan before starting the show, so, I'm safe. But you should make sure you went through your level 2 hazardous meme scan. It's imperative. So, continuing on. In order to further investigate the widespread regions of void present across post 3426-13, the SCP-3426, an unmanned exploration vessel, drops out of faster than light in an... that says drops out of FTL, which means faster than light. So I'm just going to say FTL because it sounds cooler. Drops out of FTL in the upper atmosphere of post 3426-13. The Starenlicht simultaneously launches a close-range automated drone, SKF-070, with camera feed connected to the main ship. Begin log. T plus 1 minute 27 seconds. The drone enters the lower atmosphere and deploys parachute. Drone registers minor surface damage. Later analysis shows that a thin layer of the material surrounding the drone had been transformed into balsa wood. Cause of this event is unknown. Wait. A thin layer of the material surrounding the drone had been transformed into balsa wood? Balsa wood, for those who didn't take shop class in high school, is a very thin, easily breakable wood. And so I feel like I'm just imagining a drone with a balsa wood Easter egg shell. That's interesting. Okay. In the chat, Phineas Jeremiah Fishreps is wondering if another chatter also got here from TTS, and the reason I'm bringing this up is I don't know what TTS is. Tat's top videos is TTVS, I guess, but I was just wondering about that. Seriously, Sherm, if I didn't love you piece, I'd be running away screaming right now. Brad, just read the SCP. Sorry, banter is in my blood. Let's continue. T plus 4 minutes 50 seconds. The drone lands on the surface of post 3426-13. Video feed shows that the sky appears to be phasing in and out, making formations such as clouds in the sun periodically look transparent. The sky is a pinkish red color with a dark hue, caused by the low brightness of the red dwarf star TRAPPIST-1. A number of avian life forms appear to be frozen in the sky. T plus 5 minutes 1 second. Drone begins to move towards point of target. From its altitude, the camera can see the regional landscape. The area appears to be coastal grassland plain. Ocean water drifts towards the shoreline in misshapen angular waves. As the waves break onto the beach, they are suddenly turned into what are apparently perfectly cut diamonds. The diamonds fade away a few seconds after they are deposited on the beach. Camera pans 180 degrees. A number of vaguely humanoid life forms are frozen in place along the shore, thin white wisps evaporating off of their forms. Debris is strewn about the area, and small fires burn in the distance. T plus 5 minutes 11 seconds. Abruptly, there's a flash on the camera feed that blinds the view momentarily. After a few seconds, the view returns, revealing that the entire sky appears to have lost all color contrast. There is a crackling noise, and the color of the sky returns to normal. Drone begins heading toward target location. Sorry, I also moderate the YouTube chat, and when the chat bot decides to hide something, I fix it because the chat bot is over aggressive. Continuing on. T plus 14 minutes 8 seconds. Drone passes over the planet's surface for planet surface for approximately 4 kilometers. Video feed notes the appearance of several more anomalous features. Several structures and buildings appear to be completely flattened into the ground, creating two-dimensional images of the structures and their contents on the surface. The drone passes by a number of posters, billboards, and other signage. However, all words and iconography on the signs appear as unreadable black bars. Redacted in real life. That's interesting. Continuing. Many of the objects, flora, and fauna on post 3426-13 are warped or disjointed in some way, and some are translucent or nearly transparent. T plus 17 minutes, 35 seconds. Drone approaches target. Camera shows a completely dark sphere, completely static, emitting no sound or light. The sphere is roughly estimated to be about a quarter mile in radius. Drone activates several sensors to scan anomaly, including light, sound, sentience, matter scattering, and conceptual identity. All sensors return negative. T plus 17 minutes 59 seconds. Drone breaches the barrier of the void. Allow me one moment. I just remembered that this SCP-3426 has a picture, and our feed would be much prettier if we had that picture online. Let's continue. T plus 18 minutes 36 seconds. Camera feed begins to play faint sounds of static. A pristine, non-anomalous planetary landscape is seen, about 50 yards ahead. There is an industrial building with large glass windows and unreadable insignia branded on the front. Drone enters an open door on the first floor of the complex. T plus 18 minutes 55 seconds. Static slightly increases in volume. Drone emerges in a clean, bluish-white office space, with a large plastic counter on the far side, decorated with potted plants. A sign is hung on the back of the wall behind the counter. Normally, this sign would be illegible or obscured by sensory bars. However, there are words on the sign reading, quote, "Nothing is here. Lock yourself inside." T plus 21 minutes 40 seconds. Drone proceeds down open corridor. To one side, there are large glass windows open to the sky. As the drone continues down in the corridor, the windows appear to grow and shrink in dimension. There's a small object at the end of the corridor which terminates in a dead end. The corridor is not lit well enough for the object to be identified. T 22 minutes 23 seconds. Set onto the floor of the corridor is what evidently is a television set. The television has the same shape and dimensions to match a typical CRT television from the late 1970s. As the drone approaches, it turns on. T plus 22 minutes 31 seconds. The drone stops despite the control systems from the Sterenlicht being completely severed. The sound of static on the video feed suddenly increases in volume, nearly drowning out any other noise. The television shows a series of sounds and images, including clips of asteroids floating through space, large networks of massive supercomputers, crowds of people going about their daily activities, the drone itself hovering in front of the television screen, and an endlessly brightly lit corridor. These images cycle through each other, interspersed with flashes of white light. The cycling becomes faster, and the flashes of light last longer and longer. Faintly visible in the light now are outlines of shapes, amorphous forms that move about the screen. The amorphous forms combine and reform until they create the vague outline of a human head. The human head is looking directly into the drone's camera. T plus 24 minutes 57 seconds. The drone is suddenly propelled towards a collision course with the blank wall. The wall appears to fall away and the drone is pushed forward into an empty white space, and it begins to fall. T minus 34 minutes 57 seconds. After exactly 10 minutes of continuous falling, the drone suddenly emerges in the office lobby at the entrance of the building. The lobby is nominally the same in organization, appearance, and features. The sign behind the counter has changed words. It now reads, "Go back to sleep, go back to sleep, go back." Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, the entire sky has acquired a dull red glow. I'm checking the YouTube chat for just a moment at this point because I've seen it blinking out of control out of the corner of my eye. I wish more SCPs would be interactive like SCP-5999, Finish Jeremiah Prietepus. I am very glad to hear that because I contributed to SCP-5999 Thank you very much. I was on that team. And so I appreciate the compliment. More forth-breaking. The Exploring series is great. Oh yeah. Brad says the Exploring series is great. They're wonderful. They do a great job. Doctors always button their top button. Oh, damn it. But I don't have a tie today, guys. I am a casual doctor. Okay. Here we go. Continuing on. Casual doctor. T plus 37 minutes, 9 seconds. The camera notes the presence of a new hallway to the other side of the previous hallway that was not present before. As the drone approaches, faint sounds of mechanical operation such as electrical beeps and running motors become faintly audible. Just as the drone is about to enter the hallway, the video feed suddenly emits the sound of screaming, and the drone appears again in the center of the office foyer. For approximately 2 hours, the drone continuously attempts to enter the newly made hallway, with the same events occurring each time. T positive, T plus, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 32 seconds. Over the next 2 hours, the sun sets and night falls. There is knocking on the windows, but no movement is registered from the outside. The knocking on the windows becomes more and more frantic. From the outside, the stars appear to be blood red. The drone approaches the hallway and is this time not impeded. The static in the background swells and crackles, and a faint voice can be made out just underneath the interference. The voice says, "The universe is an infinite staircase, but it is shattered. You will shatter it." The drone proceeds down the hallway. T plus, 2 hours, 38 minutes, 15 seconds. The hallway is an endless, brightly lit corridor with no exits or side doors. Fluorescent lights are positioned on the ceiling at regular intervals. After a few minutes of travel, it is impossible to tell how far the drone has moved. The featurelessness of the hallway prevents any kind of relative positioning. T plus 3 minutes 50 seconds 3 hours 50 minutes 49 seconds. After about 1 hour of travel, the static slowly begins to quiet and is replaced with the growing sound of high-pitched wailing coming from thousands of sources. T plus 4 hours 1 minute 50 seconds. Dark wisps are emitted from the lamps, swarming together and flowing through the air. The audio is interspersed with intense, high-frequency sound. When the sound is emitted, the video feed suddenly pixelates and shows random patterns of vivid colors. This pattern continues for a little less than 2 days. T plus 51 hours, 37 minutes, 4 seconds. A subtle change is now added to this pattern of data. Every time a pixelation event occurs, one of the pixels in the camera remains dead, sticking to the camera screen. Over time, the dead pixels fill the entire camera view. T plus 78 hours, 23 minutes, 30 seconds. The video feed has now been completely obscured by a variety of dead pixels. The sound of screaming has reached approximately 150 decibels, intense enough to cause rupturing of the eardrums. Shapes appear to form in the dead pixels, as if the pixels were moving through a field or an outline of static. The hallway's shape is vaguely visible in the static as the drone continues to move through it, but now visible are hundreds of distorted human figures that stand still in the hallway, extending indefinitely through the corridor. Their faces are featureless, except for eyes and the mouth. T plus 78 hours, 25 minutes, 41 seconds. The high-frequency pitches cease. The audio feed is now completely silent. T plus 78 hours, 25 minutes, 48 seconds. The swarm of humanoid faces all simultaneously turn towards the drone's camera. The figures disintegrate into black, minute particles. The pixelation effect on the camera clears. The lights in the hallway all go out, leaving the drone in complete darkness. T plus 78 hours, 25 minutes, 43 seconds. The drone activates its searchlight and shines it into the hallway. The hallway begins to spin and reflect in on itself. Different sections of the hallway seem to cross over each other, rotate, and reverse until it creates a kaleidoscope-like pattern in place of the original corridor. The hallway splits in half repeatedly into sections separated by cracks of blinding white light. The hallway then appears to unravel and coil itself around the probe until it has no room left to move. The cracks in the hallway expand and the light spilling out of it grows brighter. T plus 78 hours, 26 minutes, 36 seconds. The camera view switches abruptly to a continuous white field. T plus 84 hours, 11 minutes, 47 seconds. Nearly 6 hours later, change is detected in camera view. The white field begins to gradually fade into total blackness. As this occurs, systems on the drone progressively shut down in sequence, and the probe begins to lose capabilities. T plus 84 hours, 14 minutes, 21 seconds. The drone shakes violently as its processing systems completely fail. A dark red flash is briefly seen permeating the camera's view before the feed cuts out. End log. Addendum. The transcription of this camera feed is based on general consensus. The transcription of this camera feed is based on general consensus from a variety of viewers of the drone's camera recordings. The accuracy or reality of this transcription is currently not known. Re-recordings or attempts at computer analysis of this exploration log indicate that all reception ends past timestamp T plus 17 minutes 59 seconds. Past this point, the recording apparently consists entirely of static. End article. Whoo! Oh, that is something, all right. So, we've reached the end of the article, the supplement to the article. And a lot of people are going to notice a lot of different things that come up here. And I wonder just how much the chat has caught before I start riffing. Because this is, I remember, so for those of you who are not caught up on the history of this article, this is part of SCP-3426, and SCP-3426, along with a tale I wrote called Ignorance is Bliss, are part of a attempted canon on the wiki. There was a contest a year or 2 years ago, and it was a canon contest. So you and a couple other authors were supposed to get together and write a new canon. That way we could diversify the canons on the wiki and grow even further. And so in our canon, part of what you're going to see here, a lot of these glitches are hints and secrets that part of what was found in SCP-3426, the idea that the idea that people who knew too much were getting wiped out. Okay, so people who found out the secret of the universe were getting wiped out. Why were they getting wiped out? They were getting wiped out because the secret of the universe is, wow, I feel super serious being like, oh, hello, welcome to Site-42. This is the secret of the universe. The secret of the universe is that it's a simulation. Oh shit, it's the Matrix. It's really real. The Matrix is real. So, when you discover the universe is a simulation, then the universe gets really mad at you and tries to kill you. And so things that make that very obvious in this article, very specifically for me, it's when, let me go find the right time code. Time code crackling sound. There we go. At time code 5 minutes, 11 seconds, abruptly there's a flash on the camera feed that blinds the view momentarily. After a few seconds, the view returns, revealing that the entire sky appears to have lost all color contrast. There's a crackling noise and the color of the sky returns to normal. So the idea is that, yeah, the sky is literally glitching. There's another great glitch later on. God, Modulum did a really good job with this article. Like, I wish he were here to hear me talking about how great he is right now. But 1408, time code 1408, the drone finds a lot of structures and buildings that are completely flattened into the ground, creating two-dimensional images of the structures and their contents on the surface. And you've seen this in games. You've seen this in cheap, low, quick, unfinished games where you go in the game and all of a sudden like things are glitching and all of the structures just flatten. And yeah, that's totally a thing that happens all the time in cheap computer games. Oh no, our universe is a cheap computer game, guys. It's not even a well-made one. It's it's full of Bethesda glitches. God dang it. Fallout, get your shit together. So yeah, there's all sorts of these glitches. And I'm really impressed that the people who were in this society were able to get a message through, because Modulum points out that the whole point of this destruction is to hide information from people who are looking. So when you see all of the black bars covering every sign and signal, it's because when you come to investigate what happened, you're not supposed to find out what they found out. And so data computers are all like negated. Everything that had film, audio tape, anything that information is destroyed by the process of being 3426'd. And so the fact that there is a sign on this planet that says something, nothing is here, lock yourself inside, that's crazy. How did they do that? And then the fact that it changes again later, well, the fact that it changes again later, go to sleep, go back to sleep, go back to sleep, that is symbolic of the please don't investigate. But let us remember something very important here. We're going to go to the discussion of this article for a second, because the discussion of this article brings up a very, very important point that I hope everybody noticed. And if you didn't, I'm going to tell you anyway, so it's fine. I got your back. The discussion page brings up, my only concern is about all the human technology that's somehow found on an alien planet, like a CRT TV or fluorescent lights. Given the fact that the video itself is clearly a perceptual anomaly, are those meant to be concepts that get mapped by the watcher's mind? I'll give you a hint. The probe ceased to exist past timestamp 17 minutes 59 seconds. Oh, for fuck's sake. Of course it did. How did I not realize that? Not like it would be the first time. So yes, it is important to realize that at timestamp 1759, we get a very simple observation that is drone breaches the barrier of the void. And that's it. And of course, in the description, that is linked to SCP-3930. And if you are not familiar with SCP-3930, well, it's a hell of a doozy, and it's also important to what we're talking about today. Because SCP-3930 is a DJ Cactus skip, and it is named the Pattern Screamers. And the Pattern Screamers, in their original form, there is one area approximately 1 kilometer in diameter where nothing exists. In this area, nothing exists. The area doesn't exist. Nothing exists in the area. This 1 kilometer diameter area does not exist at all. And so the testing log is very reminiscent of our testing log here, 3426-UA-13C, is very reminiscent of the Pattern Screamer 3930 testing log, in that they send someone in there and at a certain point they enter. And so we're seeing what we think we're seeing, what we think they're seeing, but things are wrong because things officially stopped existing at the time they entered. In our reality, nothing exists past that point. And so it's a little bit of a mind frick. Because We're seeing it. We're seeing it. We're seeing it. We're seeing what's in there. But what's in there doesn't exist, except we're seeing it exists, except when the computers check it, they get static. Holy vey. This is complicated. And so that is what the end of this is calling back to. It's, remember, nothing past this point actually exists, except we're all cognizant of it. And so I think, therefore I am, is literally a thing that our philosophers have stated. I think, therefore I am. And we can think it, and we can see it. And so I think about it, therefore it is. Especially when multiple people think about it. And this is a consensus of the information. This is a consensus of multiple people watching it. So they all see slightly different things, but they see it and they get it. And this is what we have because of it, but it doesn't exist. We think it, therefore it is, but it isn't. Man. And so especially at the end of this, I'm very happy to see what Modulum did here with the Pattern Screamer-esque log, but also the way they worked in things that we could only know because it's us perceiving it, like the CRT TV and the fluorescent lights. Things that really lay down the digitization of the glitch. There's a lot of dead pixels and pattern screamers, huh? And things that point out that this is a specifically digital glitch. This is a specifically computer glitch, as well as the pattern screamer lore. It's a merging of the universe is a simulation and pattern screamer lore. And so that's just really cool. Really cool. Cool. Lady Fairy, I'll have aneurysms if I want. They're very cool to have aneurysms. Ugh. And so at the end of the day, this is just a bleeding cool exploration log. This could easily be its own tale. This could easily be a log in the 3426 article, like a collapsible. But I'm kind of glad it's like a separate page because they both tell a separate story. 3426 tells the story of the Foundation has found these planets that are dead, and we're exploring them, and things are weird and glitchy. And why is the universe glitchy? Oh. And then it says, oh, by the way, look at this exploration log here. And this gives us a really solid separate story, but an in-depth story of one of those explorations. And so sometimes you have to make that decision with your article. Do you want to have a big, long, or do you want to have like one story and then another story? And so, closing out for tonight, doing our finale housekeeping. Tonight is not a guest night. We don't have any author guests on with us tonight. So that is why we did one of these Shattered Thoughts canon stories again. We have already done SCP-3426 and 3426's exploration log. Next up in line in the canon is Ignorance is Bliss. So the next time that we have a no guest evening, we'll continue in the exploration log, or we'll continue in this canon. Ignorance is Bliss is my long tale about living in the apocalypse that is caused by the pattern screamers. So it should be very interesting. I hope it is anyways. And then a reminder to myself, because the chat won't let me forget, once Shattered Thoughts canon is done, our non-guest stories are going to be the Vendafriend series. I don't know if you're familiar with the Vendafriend series, but apparently it's pretty amazing, and it's long and amazing, so that'll be our next non-guest series. So we're doing Shattered Thoughts canon right now, and next up will be Vendafriend. If you have any requests for stories, if you'd like to come on to get vocal and have me pimp one of your articles if you're an author, Remember, that is why we don't do these all in a row. It's because when guests come on Get Vocal, then we talk about their articles and have discussions about the writing critique process. And it's all super SCP Wiki interesting. But in the meantime, I hope you guys had a good time with tonight's story. I hope you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a patron, help us out, get us a studio space rather than a living room space. Remember to join the Site-42 Discord. Like tonight's article. Tonight's article, go to the wiki and upvote it if you enjoyed it. It's really good, and it's only at like 71 plus, and it needs to be at a lot more. So, yes, anytime you're here, like our video because we need YouTube to like us, and that's all that YouTube likes. Hit the subscription bell, hit the subscription button, and then hit the bell so that YouTube actually tells you we're here. Upvote articles that you like, downvote ones you like. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I only pick articles that I like to do on the show. I don't pick bad ones because I'm not here for that negativity. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Hopefully you guys enjoy the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy the SCP Wiki. Like the video, like the article, like all the things, all the YouTube things. This has been Level 2 Researcher Theron Sherman. I hope you had a good time, and we are signing off for the evening. Have yourself a great night. And we are powering down. We are shutting off the broadcast. Hope everyone had a good time tonight.